Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael, and I'm presenting a slideshow for my business communications class. Today, I'll be discussing with you information on standardized testing in Florida's K through 12 grades, giving points of view from both supporters and critics of these exams. I hope by the time my presentation is over, I have given you enough information to offer a new perspective on these exams. According to the Florida Department of Education, standardized testing helps lawmakers to track academic growth, measure proficiency of state standards, ensure school and district accountability, and guide targeted support and interventions. Statewide assessments are designed to measure academic growth throughout the school year. They give teachers, parents, and school boards a clear look at whether students are grasping the state's academic standards. They can help determine academic growth by establishing baselines in core subjects like reading, math, writing, civics, and sciences, depending on the grade level. Evaluating progress with beginning, middle, and end of year testing to help students stay on track with state requirements. Tracking individual student development to help determine IEPs and special assistance needed for each student. They also help to adjust goals for future school years depending how students rank throughout the year. Measuring proficiency of state standards can be broken down into four key goals. Test results show teachers where a student needs additional help with subjects like reading comprehension or math word problems. This helps them adjust individual student goals so they don't fall too far behind. Standardized assessments use identical questions in testing environments, with appropriate accommodations made for students who need additional help. This mostly uniform testing environment creates a level playing field where all students are evaluated with the same state standards. These assessments measure student performance against official state benchmarks throughout the year, confirming that they are mastering grade level material. Students who need additional help in certain areas are given the chance to receive additional tutoring or smaller study groups to help them get to grade level. Preparing for statewide tests teach students practical habits like time management, following directions, and staying calm under pressure. These essential skills help set them up for success in high stake environments like college and the workforce later in life. Test scores are used in grade schools and check that they are meeting official standards, keeping school boards and principals focused on maintaining high quality public education. This ensures that schools are held responsible for student success and work continuously to improve their classrooms. When administrations look at these results, they can easily see where current teaching plans are falling short. This helps leaders adjust instructional strategies and choose better textbooks based on the data. Test data shows policymakers which low-income or rural districts consistently fall behind wealthier ones. Leaders can then direct extra funding and resources to the communities that need them most. School districts rely on overall test results to judge whether teacher training programs are really working. This ensures that the schools make real evidence-based improvements instead of relying on guesswork. Test data isn't just about grades. Standardized assessments help educators customize lessons and target specific learning needs of individuals and groups. Assessment data can help teachers adjust strategy for individual students, offering smaller study groups, IEP evaluation, or additional instruction from a specialized teacher. Students with IEPs or special needs are offered additional time to take the test, one-on-one assistance, text-to-speech, or other resources as needed. These accommodations help ensure every child gets the right tools they need to succeed. School boards can assess the effectiveness of textbooks and learning material and can make better investment choices in new material or digital tools to help best help their students. Multiple assessments and parent-teacher conferences throughout the year ensure that families are aware of the gaps in student learning and parents and the school can work together to find the best resources to help students. While standardized assessments offer valuable data for setting statewide standards, critics argue that their reliance on test scores fail to reflect a student's full academic potential and personality traits that lead to their overall growth as students. Critics argue that standardized exams only test core subjects rather than a student's complete abilities. These tests miss essential real-world skills like creativity, leadership, and critical thinking. Because of this, a single test score gives an incomplete picture of what a child is actually capable of. The immense stress on teachers of needing to help their students pass these exams often forces them to teach to the test instead of creating a curriculum that includes engaging classroom activities and projects that lead to a better understanding of the subject matter. Standardized tests assume every child across the state comes from the exact same home environment, and that is rarely the case. Students in wealthier school districts often have access to private tutors, home computers, and quiet study spaces to help them succeed, while lower income districts often rely on public libraries, shared computers, and no additional study help outside of school. This gap is typically reflected in low test scores in lower income or rural communities. Be- Because of this financial disparity, critics argue it is unfair to judge a student's results based on their family's financial resources. Using one standardized test score alone as the metric for student promotion doesn't take into account their daily effort. Homework, classroom projects, and teacher observations which show how children develop throughout the school year have no bearing on whether a child will pass or fail. Opponents to these tests feel overall effort should count towards promotion. The question becomes, how do we find a balance between vital information and standardized testing provides and ensuring a child's daily efforts are being considered in their future? Since standardized assessments provide an essential snapshot of academic progress across Florida's K-12 schools, they are an essential tool when making decisions on what each grade needs to master in core subjects. However, test scores should only be one factor in a student's grade, using it as a baseline to where they should be and not the final decision on whether they pass or fail. This will take pressure off the teachers, children, and families. Teachers can evaluate personal growth that a single exam cannot. Daily assignments, homework projects, and student participation should all be factors in their final grade. Teachers can also observe different learning factors for each student, such as needing smaller study groups, additional help needed in certain subjects, and learning disabilities a lot sooner than exams can. Hands-on projects and group assignments allow students to apply their knowledge creatively. These activities build critical life skills like teamwork, problem solving, and communication. Standardized exams rarely measure these skills. Combining testing data with traditional classroom work reduces the extreme stress on the students. Students are encouraged to thrive intellectually without suffering from severe test anxiety. Ultimately, a balanced system measures true growth while protecting student well-being. Finding a true balance in Florida's K-12 education system is not about eliminating standardized testing altogether, but about putting them into perspective. They do serve a vital role by providing an objective statewide baseline for academic progress and district accountability. However, a complete picture of student capability requires measuring what happens in the classroom every day. By giving weight to daily classroom, hands-on project, and ongoing teacher observations, we create a fairer and more comprehensive evaluation system. Ultimately, this holistic approach preserves the high standard, reduces high stakes anxiety, and supports the growth of the whole student. Thank you for your time today. I hope this presentation offered you information you didn't have before and also opens up your mind to new ideas. Have a good day.